Three major events in lifetime by Master Andrew.
Sing, full of joy, let our voices ring.
Okay, so with this, I will want to talk about in general. In general, this is not the this one part. This is talk about our human or our lifetime as a human. We got three major events. Oh, and these three major events actually we cannot do anything. Oh, especially the first one, Sun and Su. Sun and Su, life and death, can do anything or not? Can do anything. That's why we cannot do anything, right? So when you sleep the time, so when a person die, you just dream until you never wake up. Keep on dreaming for the rest of the time. Even you cremated already, still dreaming. Cannot do anything. That's why life and death you cannot predict. Some more cannot predict. The worst thing is cannot predict. You cannot say predict, okay, I will die roughly 60 over years old. Cannot predict. Any method to predict? So far in my 20 over years learning of these topics, there's no method that we can predict when it's a person die. Anyone can predict? Nothing, right? So that's why life and death, 生死 unpredictable, 听天由命. So you just only listen to the God let you live one more day, thanks God. That's why every morning wake up is thanks God, one more day for me. Right? Hey, everyone must think like that. Of course, some of you are very young. You will think that, this thing, nothing happened to you. Actually, it will, but it's less chance. Maybe 10,000 people, only one people. But if you are older age like me, 10 people or 4 5 people pass away. Right? So that's why when you get older, the chances is higher. But again, how you know is you. You also hope to strike Toto, right? Toto also 1 out of 1 million chance, especially the 10 million one, 1 out of 1 million chance or 10 million chance. You see, you also want to strike, man. But this death, 1 out of 1 million, you don't want. Okay? That's why 听天由命. Okay? Then the second thing, but of course, life and death is a major event. Because if you are not living here, a lot of things you don't care. How to care, right? Cannot care. So only look for the next life. Okay, the second thing, marriage. Can do anything or not? Marriage can do anything or not? Can check or not? Can check whether good marriage, bad marriage. Can, right? Especially part is a good strength in analyzing a person relationship problem, right? Whether have good relationship, no good relationship, part very clear. Or you check on the spouse balance, whether the spouse of strength, spouse balance of cash. All these you go and do the analysis, almost quite accurate. But can you control or not? Can you control it or not? It means your parts now marriage got problem, you control, you say, I want to make sure if nothing happen. Can or not? Can or not? I can tell you, it will sure happen. It will sure happen. So if a person, but this is much more better than life and death. You totally cannot predict. You see the chart, wow, so dangerous, but this person, no problem. Still live on. But you see the chart, not a big problem, but this person died. That's why from the Bazi chart, the first one, life and death, is totally not possible to pre-warn very deep, right? Unless this person very old, very sick already, like just now we use the zodiac method, then we'll see this person more or less last year, this year. But most of the time, normal person very hard to check. And for marriage, you can calculate, you can use Bazi to calculate, you check. Then after you check already, then your marriage problem, can you do anything to prevent it to happen? So no way. 听天由命. So heaven decide. So whether you still can have the marriage or not, it's all depend because it's really you cannot do anything. Then the third thing, our major thing is our job career. This one, can you do anything? Can, right? You can predict, right? That's why I tell you, you want to become a boss. I say cannot. You cannot do business because your partner cannot do business. A lot of unfavorable element. You cannot do business. So that's the reason for the career. Actually, we can predict. We can foresee what will happen, and then we can decide ourselves. But is it possible you want to do? It will sure let you be able to do it smoothly. Is it possible? Not possible, right? For example, I thinking of doing Lala Move. You see, Serming told me, wow, customer also complain. Why put here, why put there? You see, wow, this also cannot. So that's why sometimes you want to do something, you will see actually you decide already, but not your own decision. It will affect you on doing certain kind of thing. So that's why this is something that even you want to do something, more or less, you also want to see the luck, right? Whether there's a luck for you to continue to do. For example, when I started doing this feng shui thing, I never think of I want to do feng shui. When I started the time, because in the secondary school, my result not so good. So that's why secondary school I study metalwork. So because of metalwork, so then I go to poly, my metalwork itself, I want to apply polytechnics, electronics, they don't allow. They give me mechanical, because metal is to go to mechanical. Then I become mechanical. Then I become study mechanical. So after mechanical, when I complete my national service, I start to work. So when I go to work, at that time market recession. The time is 1985. Market recession. Completed my this mechanical engineering. Of course, I need to work in the factory. At that time, factory is quite important economic growth in Singapore. So I work in factory. Then of course mechanical engineering will be related to manufacturing or engineering kind of things. But I only can found is a production supervisor. It means they do production and then I have worker to complete all the assemble tasks. Over there I worked until 1995. So of course, you got a feeling is after you complete one company, then you join another company, because this company cannot survive. So some, because manufacturing is getting more cheaper in other countries. So that's why they close down the operation in Singapore. So they switch already. So now no more doing manufacturing. So 1995, I stopped. Because 1995, I retrenched from one of the big Japan company, Aiwa. You know Aiwa? Very big company doing combo kind of mini combo kind of thing. They retrenched me. Well, at that time, I go and ask the boss. I say, why me? Why you retrench me? They say, Tan-san, you are higher education. You go first. Easy to find job. During Aiwa time, I go and take out my this SIM. So I got my Bachelor of Business in Business Administration. At that time, I'm one of the manager is really having higher qualification. So you say I'm out, this time is good. Then no choice, then I'm out. But of course, after that, 1997, still had catch. 7 I was starting. That's why I think I'm lucky. If I not retrenched, then I will be in this flight because my job at that time is to set up a factory in Jakarta. Jakarta, Sukabumi there. So every month we will need to fly there for the setup of the machinery kind of thing because our job is to support their production process. So that's why we need to go there and set up a new machine or new features kind of thing. So at that time, I think it's lucky because I know more in Iowa. So sometimes you see it's a God beside one. I don't know, it's a universe beside one. It's a universe beside one. So that's the reason it's very hard to decide what we want to do. We also very hard to decide of when we can leave. So that's why with that incident, of course, I say, oh, hey, I'm not that. Because out of 7 hours staff, 2 is my engineer. At that time, I worked in Iowa, it's the industrial engineering manager. So I got 2 engineers reporting to me. So one of them is a very brilliant programmer. We program the kind of auto insertion machine with the shortest cycle time. Brilliant person, very good one. Everybody want him one because it can reduce the cycle time. Then another lady is a very pretty lady. When I joined the company the time, I see her face now, it's like a mirror can shut. I can see myself. Very pretty lady, also passed away. But of course, that flight crash include Bonnie Heat. You know who is Bonnie Heat? I think you all know, you all do not know. You all quite young. O1 will know. Bonnie Heat, pretty model. Also passed away. And also that flight also got one American Express, I think CEO or higher ranking officer also died. So that's a reason. But of course, I started these phone things not because of all these things. I only hang because at that time, 1995, I started to sell insurance. Because I cannot do manufacturing anymore. Manufacturing very hard to find a job. And even any company I go and work in, 3 months later they close down. It's like I go any company work in. Because I'm very worried. If I work in all the company. That's why I think cannot really. So I must do something won't die one. That's insurance. Insurance everyone needs one. So I do insurance. Won't die. Insurance won't die. So I joined NTUC Income because NTUC Income can join as a part-time organizer. So I joined NTUC Income, I do sales. But at that time, my sister asked me, he said, hey, any feng shui master or not? Because my sister bought a condo. So she want to find a feng shui master to feng shui the house. Then I said, oh, feng shui master, I'm not so sure. But so far, my daughter born the time 1993. I did see a feng shui master to do the need. Say I go and find. But 93, the one closed down already. I think it's the Tanjong Katong complex or something like that. Closed down. Yeah. Then after that, my son 1989 born. So my son is Yulong. So when I drive past Mountbatten, not Mountbatten, this one, the Gilima Road, drive past and see the signboard. At that time, he operated in his condo. So I drive to the condo. So I come down. So I knock on the door. I say I want to inquiry the feng shui service for my sister condo. Go back and call. Go back and call. At that time, no handphone one. That time 1996 like that. 1996, 1997. No handphone, nothing. I go back to call. You cannot tell me now what is the price, man. Cannot, we are very busy. So I say it's business so good. Then I also want to know feng shui. Then of course, my task haven't complete. My sister asked me already. So I go and look around all the feng shui master. You cannot talk to the feng shui master. They call the feng shui master is the staff. Yes, inquiry. Okay, you let me know. I will tell the master, let you know how much. Nobody will talk to the master one. Over here, you see, you have so many masters. Who is the master you call? Is the master answer you? Only me. Call Jensen also answer you. All the master, you see, all the master never answer you one. You don't believe? You go and try. You call any master, you call Master Tan Kun Yong. If he answer your call, don't say Tan Kun Yong, his son not. You see whether he answer your call. You go and try. No one master will answer your call. You call JY lah, you better answer your call now. So you feeling why? Who will answer your call? Why? This one? You看，我的是Honda的，never rock one. He one is first one. 徒弟 use better car than the master. Now change. So that is a problem. At that time, I tell myself, Feng Shui cannot be something really so exclusive to few people. Especially those old master are all very secretive one. Even some they teach you, they want you to bow, you cannot teach anyone. If you teach anyone, your children, everything will die. That's why I say cannot be so much secret one. So that's why I go and learn. At first I buy a lot of books and learn a lot of books. All talk about fish tank kind of thing, talk about choke or talk about the flock kind of thing crystal. That's why I say Feng Shui cannot be like that, but I still follow because I want to be one like them, so I follow. At first, when I started the time, I still got sell product one. I think some of your more senior one, I think no more. All my senior one that you have. I still got sell product at the Singapore Chinese Chamber over there. I still got sell some product. After that, no more. You strike the price. Is it you strike the price now?
Yeah.
Or you strike the full sold one?
No, it's like your cost price.
Cost price. Oh, okay. You see, I got cost price, I got the full sold one set one. Also for lucky draw. So at that time, I also use that. So until of course, after that, then I go for poly to study Feng Shui. Poly study Feng Shui, then I know Jensen. Jensen is my classmate. So we all do together. Of course, he's very good. He's very good. So I asked him to school me. So he also don't know. That's why I'm a slow learner. So after that, then we learn from then after that he's also my classmate. His name is Jack Lee. He also practicing Feng Shui. Then he sell the Taiwanese master course. Then he come to me, ask me to support him. At that time, because we learned from Poly is a Shen Kong flying star, and the method is really cannot work. And then I very demoralized, and especially at that time, I really teach few classes. The first class is 205 for Pronex region, all Pronex agent. 206 is a mixture. I think you're 206. No, you're one later. 206 one, I think no more. 205 is Mr. Lee. You see Mr. Lee outside, the one born head one, Mr. Lee. He's my first batch student, 205. Until today, he's still with the Pronex. Then 206. Then after that, I want to give up already. Because Shen Kong flying star already cannot work. Then after that, this classmate, Jack Lee, he come to me, he said, support him to buy this Taiwanese master, the Feng Shui course. Then I say, okay. Then I say, how much is it expensive? I think it's $800 over. Cheap already. So I pay, so I learn. So after I learn already, then I realized what is Feng Shui. Then at that time, I also accidentally go and read the Feng Shui 20. Feng Shui 20 is a Hong Kong Feng Shui magazine. And from there, I learned quite a number of skills from the master. Then, but of course, mainly is the Taiwanese master. Let me continue the practice. Then after that, I switch the syllabus, I redo everything. And then the student in 205, 206, all I ask them to come back for free update. Firmware update, this one. So that's the reason I want to tell you, even you decide you want to do certain things, it's not really you plan to do it, you are forced to do it. Like you see, I want to give out Feng Shui practice. Then this plan come to me, ask me to buy. Then because of this cost, then I continue. That's why continue is I can stop anytime, but every time I want to stop, then there's still people want to learn. So that's why I continue until today. So that's the reason I say even you know what you want to do, but you also cannot really be so easy or so smooth to do it. If they say I don't want to teach, but for people say, hey, I want to learn, then I still continue teaching. So that's why this is really something you can decide. I don't think so. So that's why 我命由天不由我。A lot of people say 我命由我不由天 ，not possible one. 我命由天不由我 ，this is actual fact. So that's the reason our destiny actually really we cannot decide we want to do this, we will do it. You must have certain kind of criteria. Of course, in your destiny is already written. So that's the reason a lot of time people say, sometimes people say, Pastor, you very demoralized kind of thing. You never look for all those higher objective. Come on, I from insurance agent, the best is Anthony Robbins, all this one. The one is set the target so high. Okay, they say you want me to follow the method. I imitate JY. You see today how much debt I in debt. His seminar so big, so many people. Then I book a seminar, 20,000 rental, 30,000 rental, no one comes. Or maybe few of you all come. You see, they are in debt already. That's why it's not you follow people, you can do it. You must have the destiny, then you can do it. But this one destiny can read, destiny you can read. So that's the reason I read my destiny, I know. So that's why I know I cannot be so-called very rich. Survive, possible. Of course, must be more 50. Cannot use such a big car, live such a big house, kind of thing. Because destiny cannot afford it. Of course, some people say like that is very demoralized. But no choice, this is a fact now. So if you know the fact, you live happily. Last time, I also thinking, maybe you have a big car, then your income will be more. But actually, I have a big car, income getting lesser. Because more expenses and more unpredictable expenses. Now I have a small car, more happy, less expenses. So that's why people tell you, you must have a big car, a big house, then you can make big income, then you make yourself more poor. So that's why this is the reason my own fate is not in my own. That's why your own fate actually still depends on the heaven to decide. But no matter how 生死善终生死善终 this is a 易经 one of the very important practice. That's why 易经 a little bit 惊死 one. You all want to learn 易经, right? Coming but 易经 a little bit 惊死 one. 易经 is to tell you 生死善终. Whatever you know really, okay, you know life and death, cannot do anything. Marriage, you know you cannot do anything. You try your best to prevent things happen, but you want to happen, then how? Because everybody still need to go office, right? Then number 3, your career, you know, you also cannot do much thing, but you can work harder. Then you can work not too unrealistic things, but you still need to depend on whether the customer will come. So of course, if you are really in this situation, you can thinking to work for others. Because you work for others, it's not your destiny. You work for others is this person, how his destiny to attract the customer, then you help out this person. If you work for people, usually not a problem. Like our auditorium opposite is the Kofu, the boss, who doing a talk now 2 to 4. You can quickly go and ask him whether want to employ you. Work for Kofu, you see this boss, his destiny must be good. If not, how can be? Step down already. Step down. This one CEO step down already. Really? So 生死善终 actually is to tell you under 易经 school of thought. When you want to start something, you better start carefully. Don't be rushed to start certain thing. Careful planning, include looking into your destiny, good year, bad year kind of thing. Then you have a careful start. So after that, whether how long can you sustain? We do not know. So when you want to, when come to the time to end, you can end it nicely or so-called having a kind ending. 善终 very hard to explain in English. So I only can translate is a kind ending. So don't harm anyone. Don't really create trouble kind of thing. Then this is a better ending kind of process.
SOCMO we sing, full of joy, let our voices ring. We love